The compact SUV segment is saturated. There are so many options. Which one do you choose? Well, you gotta be able to live with it. And this is a 2025 Hyundai Tucson, and it's the limited trim, and this generation goes through a mid-cycle refresh, and the important changes are on the inside. And we're gonna take a look with an interior review. Getting started, this is the key fob for the 2025 Hyundai Tucson limited trim. You have your basic buttons up front and your functions on the side to open up the rear hatch or pull the vehicle forward or backward just in case somebody's parked a little bit too close. Now this trim does have keyless entry on the front doors. Press these notches here to lock and put your hand inside to unlock. And when you open up the door, the seat moves back for the driver for easier ingress. Now looking at the door panel, you do get some fabric materials that's surrounded by soft touch points. And near the switchgear, there's piano black, which I'm not a huge fan of because it's very prone to fingerprints and smudges. And below that is your door bin. Now going to the seats, because this is the limited trim, we do have leather seats. I fit just fine. I'm 6'5", I have plenty of head and leg room, and the seats are highly adjustable. And they can actually go pretty far back on its tracks, which is really nice. And before hopping in the driver's seat, just want to show you the selection of buttons here, where you'll find your cabin lighting, parking brake, your hatch release, and your traction control. Now, hopping in, engine start-stop button is right here. And that powers on your 12.3-inch dual gauge cluster and infotainment screens. And you also get a 12-inch head-up display. Now moving down to the gauge cluster, it's no frills or thrills. It's pretty basic, but it does display all of your pertinent information. And the best part is this: when you activate your turn signal, the blind spot monitor displays in the respective screens right here, which is a really useful and helpful feature. Now on the side, you do get your memory seat controls on the upper door panel and a fingerprint reader to save driver profiles. And moving to the steering wheel, this is a new design for the 2025 model year. They don't have the horizontal design anymore. It's pretty much a traditional steering wheel, and you have your Morse code H right here and your typical Hyundai and Kia controls with paddle shifters on the back. And as you can see behind this steering wheel, you get your gear selector, and it does take a little bit of getting used to, but it does open up for some more space near the center console. And to park, just press the P right here to park. Now moving over to the passenger side, you do get some storage up top, which is really nice. A soft touch dash and a pretty decently sized glove compartment. And the infotainment screen, 12.3 inches, really easy to work. It's nice and clear, and it also has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is great. And let's take a look at the reverse camera. And the reverse camera is nice and clear as well. And you get a surround view monitor just in case you're in a tight parking spot and you need to know what's around you. That's great. Put it back in park. Moving down, you also get your HVAC controls. Knobs are really easy to work. They display the temperature up front, and you get 3 stages of heated and ventilated seats. And you also get heated steering on this trim, 2 stages. Now down below that, you get a USB-C outlet that you can switch between just charging and when you're hooking up your phone for connectivity, which is nice. But I think it's kind of redundant. They should have just had this as one charging unit. Maybe one charge is faster. But you also get some storage down here. Instead of having your gear selector right here, you can put your sunglasses right here, because guess what? There's no sunglasses compartment, which is a bummer, but you do get some extra storage down there. And right here on your command center, you get a button to lock your center differential, drive modes, and all of your various buttons right here. It's great to have a dedicated camera button here, because when you press it, it just pops up onto the screen right away. You get a prompt right here, close that, and this is front facing camera, rear facing, all that good stuff. And press the parking button to disengage that. You also get wireless charging for your phone right here. A couple decent sized cup holders and a narrow but pretty deep storage compartment. Pretty nice. Now looking up top, like I said, there is no compartment for sunglasses, but you can open up the panoramic roof and it slides really fast. And guess what? It also opens up, which is nice. Does it go any farther? Nope. It opens up about halfway. So that's how much sunlight you get for the front passengers. But that wraps up the front seats. Let's move on to the rear to see how it accommodates your rear seat passengers. Opening up the rear doors, they do open up nice and wide, which is nice. And on the door bin, you do get a small pocket down below for a small water bottle, and that same treatment up top with fabric surrounded by some soft touch points and that gloss black near the switch gears. Now moving to the seats, these are nice and comfortable. I fit behind myself just fine at 6'4", but if you are tall, seated behind a tall driver, you might be a bit squished up. But for average sized adults, they will fit just fine. They'll have plenty of room. And looking down below, in back of the seats, you do have this netting for some storage, and your rear seat passengers will have vents and USB-C ports as well to get charged up. There is a hump to deal with for your middle seat passengers, so their legs are gonna be a little hiked up. The center armrest, nice and squishy, and you do get a couple cup holders as well. Moving to the cargo area, to open up, it's not up top. You do have to go down below. And it's right here. And boom, you got some good cargo space. Now, behind the second row, there's 41 cubic feet of space. And if you fold the seats down, it almost doubles. And you fold the seats right here, nice and easy. And the good thing is, if you want it to click into place, just press it down, and they're almost flat. And that's great for hauling some long items. And you could do the same on this side as well. But since I'm tall, you gotta put a little more oomph into it. And over here, you also see you have a 12-volt outlet, which is nice. And spare tire under the floor. Too bad you don't have a lock and close combo button, just your basic lock button. This opens up the engine bay. And it does have a prop rod, but this is the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine making 187 horsepower, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, if you're looking to get a Hyundai Tucson, this is one of their top sellers, you're gonna look at $30,000 for the base price, which includes that $13.95 destination charge. But if you're looking to step into limited territory, that's gonna start just under $40,000, $39,940 to be exact. And if you're in the market for a compact SUV, be sure to go on kbb.com to get a fair purchase price. But that wraps up the interior review for the 2025 Hyundai Tucson Limited trim. Be sure to follow and subscribe to the Kelley Blue Book YouTube channel, and we'll see you in the next video.